Okay, go ahead. All yours.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Alma Hughes, and I'm with the Federal Communication Commission here in the Washington, D.C. area. And I'm going to come before you for a few minutes to tell you about a program, a discount program that may benefit you, which is called the Affordable Connectivity Program. This program started back in December 2021, and it came about because about a few years ago, all of our lives changed when the COVID hit, and we were made to work from home. Our children were made to go to school from home, and we were finding out that a lot of households, especially low-income households, was not able to afford the internet service that they needed to do schoolwork and for us to do our work. So Congress, along with the White House, signed off and a $14 billion to go towards the Affordable Connectivity Program. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what is the benefit, who is eligible, how can households apply. Then I'll run through the application process itself. The benefit, the Affordable Connectivity Program is a Federal Communication Commission program that provides a discount on monthly broadband bills for qualifying low-income households. Eligible households can receive up to $30 a month discount for broadband service and associated equipment rentals. If you live on a tribal land, you can receive up to $75 a month discount. And you can also receive a one-time $100 discount towards the purchase of a laptop, desktop, or tablet that must be purchased through your participating provider. And if you opt in for this particular program, the $100 discount, you must pay at least $10 to $50 as a copay on that device. And I'll explain that a little bit as we go along. What is a household? A household is a group of people who live together and share money, even if they are not related to each other. If you live together and share money, you are one household. If you either don't live together or you don't share money, you are two or more households. A household can qualify because of eligible dependent children that meet the eligibility criteria, and I'll explain that as we go along. You may have to answer questions about your household when you apply for the Affordable Connectivity Program. And a worksheet, or household worksheet, will be available to assist you in that. Examples of household. One household is a married couple who live together must share one AC benefit. A parent, guardian, and child who live together must share one ACP benefit. An adult who lives with friends or family who provide financial support must share one ACP benefit. Multiple households. 4 roommates who live together but do not share money are 4 separate households. All 4 can receive the ACP benefit. If 30 seniors who live in an assisted living home but do not share money are 30 separate households. All 30 can receive the ACP benefit. A student who receives a federal Pell Grant and lives alone in a different household than his or her parents can get the benefit. Both the student and their parents are separate households and can receive their own benefit. Let me say that again. A student who receives a federal Pell Grant and lives alone is a different household than his or her parent. Both the student and their parents are separate households and can receive their own benefits. A household is eligible if the household income is at or below 200% of the federal poverty guideline. If a member of the household meets at least one of the criteria below, participate in certain assistance programs such as SNAP, Medicaid, federal housing assistance, which is public housing, housing choice voucher programs, Section 8, project-based rental assistance, SSI, WIC, or Lifeline. Or if they participate in tribal Pacific programs such as Bureau of Indian Affairs General Assistance, Tribal TANF, or food distribution program on Indian reservations. If they participate in the National School Lunch Program or the School Breakfast Program, including the Community Eligibility Provision, receive a Pell Grant in the current award year, receives Veterans Pension or Survivor Benefit, or meets the eligibility criteria for a participating provider's existing low-income program. Some providers already have a low-income program in place, and you can check with your provider. If you have a child that lives in your household, that child in participating in the school lunch or breakfast program, that child alone can make that household available. How does the ACP protect consumers? FCC rules protect Affordable Connectivity Program recipients by empowering consumers to choose the service plan that best meets their needs, including a plan they may already be on, ensuring consumers have access to supported broadband services regardless of their credit status, prohibiting providers from excluding consumers with past due balance or prior debt from enrolling in the program, preventing consumers from being forced into a more expensive or lower quality plans in order to receive the ACP benefit, ensuring that consumers are not liable for early termination fees, reducing the potential for bill shock or other financial harms, allowing ACP recipients to switch providers or broadband service offerings, and the FCC also provides a dedicated FCC process for any ACP complaints. Now, I want to elaborate on preventing consumers from being forced into a more expensive or lower quality plan in order to receive the benefit. Well, that tells you that your provider, if you've been awarded the $30 benefit per month, and you go to your provider cannot force you into a more expensive plan or a lower plan to get this benefit. They cannot do that. We have different resources for this ACP program. FCC ACP Consumer Hub, which is at www.fcc.gov/ACP. There's a dedicated helpline, the ACP Support Center at 877-384-2575, or you can send an email to acpsupport@usac.org. We also have a consumer FAQ dedicated website. We have USAC ACP claims and enrollment tracker, where you could go in and you can see how many households in your area has applied and has been awarded this benefit. We also have a toolkit if you organization that want to put on some kind of program to make your consumers aware. We have a toolkit that you can go to and you can download flyers for your event. We have a dedicated accessibility at FCC 504@fcc.gov. We have where you can go and apply online. And then we have, if you have any questions, you can always contact via email at acpinfo@fcc.gov. There are 3 ways to apply for the ACP benefit. You can do it online. And when you go online to do this, and I'll show you at the end, at the beginning, you're going to create a new account to complete this ACP application. In other words, you create an account and add in a username and a password. That is yours that you should keep. So anytime you need to go back online to find out the status of your application, you will already have an account. You can apply online with the assistance of your internet company, or you can mail it in. You can print out an application. Applications are in English and Spanish only, but we do have application instructions in 9 other different languages. USAC strongly recommends including a household worksheet with your application. That's if you mail it in. And the worksheet, again, is in English and Spanish only, but the worksheet instructions are in 9 other languages. You can complete the application and household worksheet, and you'll send it in to USAC. They have a new mailing address, and I need to get that mailing address, and I'll send it to you. Or you can contact your internet company. There are a lot of internet companies that are already part of this program. You can go into them, or you can give them a call and let them know that you want to sign up for ACP. So you can do it online, you can do it by mail, or you can contact your internet company. So those are the 3 ways that you can apply. Next, I'm gonna go into the application itself. I'm gonna go back for a minute to say, if you apply by mail, there are some ID information that you would need to submit. Say, for instance, if you apply through Medicaid, you would need to send proof of your Medicaid, that you are part of Medicaid. Now, if you're applying by mail and if you send this proof along with your application, do not send the original. Send a copy, and whatever document that you need to submit with your application, send a copy. Do not send the original. Now, on the application, there are 8 pages to the application. You really need to be concerned with page 1 through 7, and I'll tell you the reason why not 8. On the first page of the application, it's just basically the instruction telling you what is a household, telling you do not give your benefit to another person, be honest on the form, and just letting you know that you may need to show other documents to go along with your application. Then if we hop over to page 2, it's basically asking for your information, your full legal name, your phone number, your date of birth, your email address. And email address is recommended. And the reason why they recommend that, because that'll be a quick way to inform you about your approval of your application, of your ACP benefit, or if you were not, or if they need additional information. So if you have an email address, that would be very helpful if you would include your email address. There's an identity verification. You can select either putting your last 4 digits of your social security number, or if you live on a tribal land, putting your tribal identification number, which will verify your identity, or your driver's license, military ID, passport, taxpayer identification number, or some other government ID. Now, if you're going to mail the application in, and any one of these that you want to send for verification, we ask you send a copy of it. You want to know, why do they ask for my last 4 digits? Well, there's something called a national verification system. And if you're going to apply using Medicaid, your Medicaid information is in the system. So with your name and your last 4-digit social, that's a quicker way for them to verify that it's you. So while you do not have to put your social, your last 4 digits, but I say I will put that for a quicker verification. Over here on page 3, it's going to ask for your home address. And it's going to ask you, is this a temporary address? Check here if you live on a tribal land. And it's also going to ask for your mailing address. Now, if your home address and your mailing address are the same, you do not have to fill out the mailing address. But if they are different, where some of us do, we have a home address and we have a mailing address, then we ask you to put both on your form, whether it's online or on paper. Then over here on page 4, you're going to check if you're qualifying through a child or dependent in your household. If you are, Then you're gonna put their child's full legal name, their date of birth, and how you will verify whether it's the last 4 digits of their social. Well, if it's a child, they won't have a driver's license, but you got military ID, passport, taxpayer identification number, and other government ID that you can list for that child. Over here on page 5, you're going to check off all the programs that you or someone in your household have, whether it's SNAP, which is used to be called food stamps, SSI, Medicaid, federal public housing assistance, veterans pension or survivor benefit program, federal Pell Grant for the current award year, WIC, or the free and reduced school lunch or breakfast program that your child is enrolled in. Now, if you're applying through your child, they're going to ask on the application for the school name, the school district, and the state. For tribal Pacific programs, you want to check off if you're part of the Bureau of Indian Affairs General Assistant, the TANF program, the Food Distribution Program on Indian Reservation, or the Tribal Head Start. If you're part of these programs, you would check that off. Over on page 6, as you remember, I mentioned about the qualifying through your income, 200% of the benefit. Now, here is a chart, and it's been updated 2023 chart. If there are 5 living in your household and your income is $70,280 or below, then you can qualify through your income. If it's just one in your household and your income is $29,160, then you can qualify through your income. Now, if you qualify through your income, you do not need to show any other proof of Medicaid, WIC, SNAP. You can qualify through your income or through one of the assistance programs, not income and one or the other. Over here on page 7, this is where you will read, it's an agreement page. You will read each agreement, and if you are in agreement with it, you will initial it. Now, if you're doing it online, if your name is Sue Ann Jones, you only can put S and J. It would not allow you to put SAJ. But if you doing it by paper, then you can put the initial SAJ. If you're online, number 26 asks for your signature. You would type your signature in. Number 27, you put today's date. If you send it in a paper application, you can sign it and put today's date. Now, over on page 8, where I said that you would not need to worry about that page because it's for representative only. And it's such as internet companies, agents, and tribal partners. They will have signed up for this represented ID number because, see, they will have be able to assist you with your application. And if they do assist you with your application, they have an ID number that they are supposed to put down. So this right here is page 8 is only for representatives, not for the consumers. Also on page 8, I listed the updated federal poverty guidelines for 2023. This is the 200%. And if your income is along one of these guidelines right here, then you make you eligible. You would check off whether it's 1 or 6 in a household. And I believe that's the end of this presentation. And if there are any questions, I'll do my best to answer the questions. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay. Yes.
I have a question about people that are in assisted living. How do they qualify for this program again? If they live in assisted living?
Okay.
Medicaid.
We had a question about someone if someone's in assisted living and is on Medicaid, how do they apply?
Okay, they can do it the same way. They can do it online, and they can probably go to their library to do it online. Okay, they can do a paper application. If they do it online, they're gonna have to upload, make a copy of their Medicaid card and upload it to their application. If they're gonna mail the application in, we strongly recommend that you make a copy of their Medicaid card or whatever information you have to prove that you're with Medicaid and send it along with your application. That's why back here, I was highly recommend that an email address, that you include your email address right here. Well, not so much email address, your last 4 digits of your social. Because if you have Medicaid, if you put in your last 4 digits of your social, the national verification system can easily identify and prove that this is Sue Ann Jones. So in assisted living program, yes, they can apply, and it will apply the same way, online or paper application.
Okay, yes.
2 questions. One, so are they giving you, is it $30 or $75 a month for the internet?
It's $70.
Since, just had a question about the $30 or $75.
I'm glad you asked the question. Now for this program, it's $30 per month, and it's a continuation program. We do not know when it's going to end, and the monies will go to your provider. You will not receive a check in the mail, and that's a very good question too. So the money would, if your provider is, I don't know who your provider is out there in Arizona that's participating. If it's Jerry Jones internet service, Jerry Jones, and I'm glad you asked that question because I need to add something on. Jerry Jones will receive the monies and will be credited to your account. Now, when you receive email or letter that you were approved, what you would need to do, you would need to contact your provider, because if Jerry Jones Internet Company is in Arizona, Jerry Jones would not know whether or not you were approved for ACP unless you contact them. They would not get anything in the mail or through email to say Sue Ann Jones was awarded $30 discount. You must inform them, contact them. And when you apply, at the end of your application, you will receive a confirmation number. They call it something else, but I say confirmation number. At the end of your application, take that confirmation number and keep it, because that's your number that you're going to need if you had to call USAC, or if you had to email USAC, or if you was going online for the status of your application. The number that you're giving at the end of the application, you should jot it down, take a picture of it, and you keep it in your records.
Okay. So
Okay.
$30.
And the $75, that was for on tribal
75,
land?
that's for if you're on a tribal land. I'm sorry, on a tribal, if you live on a tribal.
So if you only get 30, then the internet costs more than 30, you just pay the difference?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
If you get to 30, and if your internet service costs $39, you will pay the difference.
Question, this 877-384-2575 number, is that the Arizona number that we call?
No, that's USAC number, Universal Service Administration Company. They're the one who's managing the application.
Okay.
And when you call that number, there is a live person behind that number, because I had to call several times.
But where is the phone number for the Arizona? When we call them with our confirmation letter.
Now, the confirmation number that you receive, that will go to your provider.
Oh, to the provider. Okay.
To the provider. I'm sorry if I didn't make it clear. That confirmation is yours to keep, for you to notify your provider, give them that number, and they're supposed to be able to go in the system to prove that you were awarded that $30 discount.
Okay.
That goes, I'm sorry if I didn't make myself clear, that will be given to your provider.
Okay.
The 877 number is if you have any questions, you have any problems with the application, you will call that number to speak to someone at USAC. They are the ones who's managing the application itself.
And were you saying that you would qualify if you have SNAP or your income or Medicaid? If you fall into all those categories, I mean, does that? I mean,
One of them, say for instance, if you do, well, one of them will make you eligible, whether it's SNAP, whether Medicaid, SSI, WIC, one of those, and there was a section over say, check off all that you are part of. So say for instance, in SSI, you make a little bit too much money, but yet she's part of SNAP. Okay, well, SNAP got her on board, so yes.
okay, either of the situations is gonna make you approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
If again, if you're SSI, because I've seen someone come in and they're like, their SSI said you made too much money. I'm like, really? But anyway, but if you check all those other programs that you're a part of as well, one of them is going to make you available. Medicaid, WIC, SNAP, make you eligible, I mean.
I have something I want to bring up. I have applied.
Okay, and also, is it faster to, we have this paper that we're doing, should we do it on a paper and mail it in, or should we go online to make it faster?
Online is faster. And if with an emailing address.
Okay, yes.
On mail, and I've seen it's been where you're doing it online and you're doing it because you're a part of SNAP
Right,
or WIC, and I've seen a quick turnaround that same day that you received an email address saying you were approved. You know, so and it's you know, the turnaround is not a week, 2 weeks. No, it's not that long. Especially if you got all the information in there that you should have. It's a quicker turnaround, especially if you provide an email address. Now, if there's something they need additional information, you're going to receive an email as well to tell you what you need. That's why when you first go on to apply for this, you're going to create an account. And it's just asking you for, I think, your name and something else it may ask you for, and they're going to ask you to create a username and a password. And then it's going to take you where you can start the application process. That username and that password is so important that you keep up with.
okay,
Because-
and $30, is that gonna be every single month for like how long?
And yes, every month, for how long, we don't know. $14 billion has been allocated to this. We don't know. It's been going on since December 2021. And I can't give you an end date. We don't know.
Okay. But I don't, you know, we get it, we're gonna be in a contract with whatever internet provider, and I don't wanna have it for, you know, 6 months, 8 months, and they're like, okay, no longer getting $30, and we signed up for a $45 plan or something, and then we went from paying, you know, $10 or $15 extra a month to now having to come up with the entire $45 later.
Now, understand too, I over here, the FCC, they protect you. Now, say for instance, it's 5 years later and you are still receiving the benefit and it's coming down to an end. You will be notified. You're not going to be notified if it's coming to an end next week. No, they would have notified you. And I'm not for sure how far in advance you will be notified that this program is coming to an end. They're not going to just cut you off like that, like boom, you're back to paying your $45. So no. And we protect protect you by ensuring that consumers are not liable for early termination fees. So again, you will be notified in advance, and how much in advance, they have not told us that because they don't know when it's going to end.
Okay, so do we just wait to start up the service? Because I don't know if I don't have it. I don't have internet right now. So if they're gonna help, then obviously I wanna get it. So do I wait until I've got the notification from you guys that I have got approved and then I start up the internet provider service?
That's now you can, if on your own, you're probably like, okay, if I get it, who I want to go with. But when you receive the notification that you were approved, and at the same time you got that approver number that they assign, then that's when you can start looking for who I want to sign up with. There is a link out there that tell you where you can go. It's called, and I can send it to you. It's where you can go and check. You can put in your zip code. The companies near me is what it's called.
Yeah.
You can put in your zip code and it would tell you what providers in your area, in that zip code, is participating in the ACP benefit program.
Yeah, I have that
You
link.
got that? Okay, okay.
It's quite an extensive list, so it's really hard to weed out.
Yeah, well, yeah, because Arizona probably have a lot. People are finding out that like Tom Jones, I've never heard of a Tom Jones. So you got a lot of these mom and pop internet companies. So yeah.
But I have a few flyers here from a few of the bigger companies here that have their
Okay,
Internet essentials programs, the low cost programs.
okay, good, good.
And we had, I think maybe a concern was if you were in a contract.
Yeah, that is a big concern because I was with an internet program once here. And it started out like 39 something a month. And within a year and a half, they had it up to like 139.
It was a promotional, right?
No, they didn't say it was a promotional. They did not sell it that way.
Yeah, that's what it is, but it's promotional in the beginning, and then after a period of time, it jumped up.
Yeah,
That's like,
but they just didn't tell me that. They just hooked me.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they want the full amount of your contract if you're gonna cut out, or they ruin your credit.
Well, see, that part we have no control of. What we can have control of is this $30 discount that you're receiving. Again, say if your bill is $45 a month, like you're doing now. Now you're awarded this $30 discount. Okay, you're gonna start receiving that off your bill. You're gonna see the discount on your bill where now it's gonna be what, $15 plus tax. Okay, now again, before this service is cut off, you will be notified in advance of when the service, this $30 benefit was stopped. It's been going on since December 2021. And again, we don't know when it's gonna stop.
But if they were in a contract with a provider while they were getting the benefit and then the benefit stopped, but it was stopping before their contract was up, would they have any extra protection?
Say it again.
If they had a contract with an internet provider and got the ACP benefit and the benefit ended, but it ended before their contract ended, would they have any kind of protection as far as being able to end that contract when the benefit ended?
That part right there, the FCC would not have control over. They have control of the benefit itself.
Okay.
That's
So,
not something that you were already a part of before you have signed up for the benefit. So,
That's what we're all questioning here.
yeah, that's what I think they're wondering.
okay, and that's something that you want to make it clear from your provider. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you have to get that clearance part from your provider.
But I have seen where some of the low cost programs, it looks as though that they don't have contracts. I'm not completely familiar with everything and all the details. Some of the $30 and under programs.
And they ought to be in jail for some of the stuff they did here.
Okay.
And also too, and I understand it, and we have it here in DC or whatever, where, okay, well, I'm talking about this program to you all. It's not a scam. And we do find that a lot of people, they're not signing up because they're thinking it's a scam. It's not a scam. It's a real program. I signed my mother up for it. She's getting the benefit. You know, she's getting a discount each month. So it's not a scam. And like you in your area with the adult program, they know you. They don't know me. So it's like we have to give them comfortable to let them know that this is not a scam. This is real. And again, we can't fault people for thinking that way because it's just so much going on around us when it comes to scam. But this is a real program.
Yes, we actually have somebody right here who had that concern. They had a question about it. They had seen this before, applied for it last year, and they have a letter from it and a confirmation, but there's an expiration date. So I assume if since it's past that expiration date, they'd have to reapply for the ACP again
When,
from 11/19/22.
it should have expired. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be, because after a year, USAC, if they unable to verify you that you're still, we'll say you applied because of Medicaid. If they're unable to verify that, then they would notify you by letter or email. I'm not sure which one. But if they apply for it in 2022, November 2022, that should not have had expired.
Yeah, it says submit your documents by that date, or you will have to reapply. So I assume they would have to then.
And they receive something already. If they apply in,
Well,
if
this
they apply,
is old. This is older. This is a copy of an email. This is from last year, this email, but she never followed through with it because she thought it could have been a scam.
oh,
So she
okay.
never, she applied, but didn't follow through with the application. So she would
And
have
I
to.
wish she had the information where she could have called USAC. I understand why she probably did not do it, but I wish
Mhm.
she would have called, because if they cannot re-verify that you're still who you said when you first apply, then they're going to reach out to you, whether it's via email or via letter.
Okay, but they gave me an ID number.
She does have an ID number on this email that's printed out, but that's also invalid now because it's expired.
But I will call them. I will call the 877 number. I will call them. You have the ID number and ask them, and you can tell the reason why you didn't, because you thought it was a scam. What can you do to get this benefit back? And they may tell you might have to reapply, but it's good to know.
Okay.
Can I get it back, or do I have to reapply?
Okay. And what is that number again? It's the number up there on the screen.
877-384-2575.
Okay.
That's the ACP support center. And that's good that she still has the ID number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will call back, because there's money there. Okay, and I will call back and let them know why you did not go forward, because you thought it was a scam.
I thought it was a scam.
That's right. That you have the right to think that way, and find out from them if you can be, if you can pick back up on the discount, or do you have to reapply? And they should be able to help you with that question.
Okay, great.
I have a question. So does your credit come into effect trying to get a provider to get your service?
No, I think it was something over here. Has for the plan they need consumer prohibiting providers from excluding consumer with past due balance or prior debt from enrolling in the program. So that should not come into play. That is not supposed to come into play. The FCC have rules to protect you from that.
And there's a list in particular areas, like we're in Arkansas, 72076, there's particular places in Jacksonville where you can't get certain providers, like AT&T is on like a couple blocks over from me, but my street don't get it. So how do I know who can actually provide internet service for my area?
Okay, Mr. Gentry said he has the link that you can pull up companies near me. You can put in your zip code, and you can put in your city and state, and it will a list will come up of what providers in that particular zip code that is participating in the ACP program.
Yeah, I have a list of that.
Okay.
What?
Providers. There's quite a few, and there's many I've never even heard of. But I know that Xfinity does it, AT&T does it. There's also some like Verizon that do it, I think, with a wireless hotspot. Sure. With a wireless hotspot, so perhaps then you wouldn't have to have. You'd be able to get it in a place where that you don't have access otherwise. And also had another question earlier before we started about the supplement for computers. Is that something that you do, or is that the providers that?
That's the provider. Now, whatever provider you're with or going to sign up with, Now, all providers are not participating in this particular program. Now, if you was to put up that list, companies near me, say Tom Jones, internet provider, there's a column that will tell you whether or not Tom Jones internet provider is participating in the discount device. But you must purchase that through the provider that you are with. You can't go to Walmart or Best Buy or places like that to purchase it. You must purchase it from the provider. And if you do, and if they are participating in that program, you must pay at least $10 up to $50 towards that purchase.
And then you were also mentioning about a new address for USAC, was that
What was that?
a new address for USAC than what you had on the screen?
Yes, I think it's on the, I think it's on the application.
Is that the address, the new address, the one that's on the printed application?
I think so, because the application should be updated.
At PO Box 9100.
That's the new one.
Our PA 18773, that's the new address.
That should be the new one. Yes.
Yeah, I printed out some of the paper applications and that's the address that's on it.
Okay. Yeah, because they're supposed to have updated the application. I have to update this PowerPoint.
Okay. Just checking.
Yes, sir. And keep in mind, even the applications online or by paper is only in English and Spanish, but the instructions are in 9 other languages.
Okay. I do have one question. When you're doing by mail, is there still postage due with that?
What'd you say?
You still have to put a stamp on it?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. I guess in Arizona, you all have to put stamp, but yeah, if you're mailing it, yeah. Yes.
Arkansas?
Where you in, I see that this is the incorrect address right here. The address has been changed. And this is not this one would used to go to Kentucky.
The
But
address-
if you drop the application off, yes, you should put a postage on the envelope.
Okay, sure. Yeah, the address that's on that paper application is the correct address.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the one in Pennsylvania.
But now we actually go online, I would rather go online. So
Yeah.
Go online to fill the same paper application out
Yeah.
at www.fcc.gov/ACP.
Yeah, and yeah, you can do that on our computers. And we'll help you find that if you need help. We can't fill it out for you,
Right.
but we can get you there and we can assist you
Oh, yeah.
somewhat if you need help.
As long as we get there, I can fill it out.
Yeah, you're right. You can assist them with it.
Okay, any other questions?
Nope.
Well, if you have any other questions, feel free to email me. And
Okay.
I'll find the answer and I'll email you back.
Okay, thank you. And
All
thank you.
right,
for your
thank you
fast
all.
responses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
you all continue to be safe out there.
All right.
All right.